Hey, listeners, we are here today with the amazing Jordan Roepke. I hear he is a completely badass guitarist, and I know he's a great photographer. Jordan, welcome. What's going
Welcome,
on?
Jordan.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here.
Cool. Well, we're happy to have you. And just so our listeners know, this is the Jordan who took our recent photographs, and more will be rolling out soon. But Jordan is multi-talented, so we decided to have him on the show. So, Jordan, tell us about your music. I know before you were doing photography, you played with Jasmine, and what is Jasmine's last name?
Jasmine Kane. Yeah. So I
Yes,
was
that's right.
yeah, I was her guitar player for the past 5 years.
Okay.
So I started with her in 2015, I think, and late 2015. And before that, I had done some road work with a couple of acts who were on like American Idol and that kind of stuff. So I basically spent the last 6, 7 years just kind of touring around the country. And before that, I had lived out in Los Angeles, and I was doing a lot of studio work for like television and film. So yeah, so I have a long history of both, film and music and all that stuff. Started playing guitar when I was like 15. So it was just one of those things that transitioned from one to the other pretty seamlessly. And, with everything going on with 2020, touring was kind of off the table. And so,
Sure,
that
sure.
opportunity to kind of transition a little more full time to photography. And it's worked out really, really well. And I get to meet cool people like you guys and,
Yeah.
Some
just
days we are.
yeah, just being creative is one of those things that I think is very underrated. And I think that a lot of people who are creative can be creative in a lot of different ways. So it's nice to kind of move from realm to realm. And I still play, and I still do all that kind of stuff. But just with what I've been doing lately, photography is taking up more and more of my time, which is awesome. I'd rather be busy than not, but
Yeah, true.
Yeah, for sure.
especially after sitting home all last year just playing video games. It's like
I
nice to be.
understand
The
that.
thumbs must be ripped.
Mm, yeah, between PlayStation and camera shutters, this whole thing is going on.
People walk
You
up
probably
and say, "Look
do
at them
kill punch.
thumbs."
Probably do the two-finger kill punch.
What was that?
You could probably do the two-finger kill punch.
Oh yeah, yeah, the Bruce
Yeah,
Lee.
the stop the heart thing.
Yeah. I mean, I was on a bowling league all through high school, so it's like this
Oh,
whole grip is just,
you can carry dates home.
He doesn't need to
Oh,
do that. He's got Leslie.
I know. Okay, well, okay. I'm not
Carry
gonna.
Leslie home.
Carried
I'm
Leslie
glad you
home,
said
yes. Wow.
it. Hey, all I can say is I'm gonna really love the next 25 minutes or so because I know that Michelle is sitting there cringing, wondering what Jordan or I will say next.
Yeah. Well, we
Yeah.
got it all out in the garage during our road trip, and
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Warm up, babe. Let it roll. Let it
I
fly. Let it.
totally missed that because I was upstairs having a makeup emergency.
yeah.
I think that caused me trauma a little bit because now when I go to put my makeup on, I'm like, oh, God, what am I doing? Am I doing this right?
Green eyeliner, more green eyeliner.
More
Right,
green.
right, right.
When in
I did
doubt,
wear
yeah,
I did wear green today. I was like, I'm gonna wear green
yeah, I
in
see that.
memory of that day.
Reliving past traumas.
Yes, there we go. Own it. Just own the trauma.
Yeah, it's good.
To help it
So,
process, I wore something that we decided against.
Yeah,
who
yeah, there you
decided
go.
against? Did I decide against or you
Oh,
decided against?
it was a we. It was a we.
A we. Okay, we'll go with we. Okay. That's cool. So, Jordan, what was your favorite part of touring and being out on the road?
Yeah, so I think a lot of people think that when you are a touring musician, you see all these really, really cool places. Um, Really, what you see is truck stop bathrooms and hotel rooms. That's what you see when you're out on the road. So
Yeah.
I've performed in probably 40, I'm going to say 45. I'm going to be slightly generous, somewhere between 40 and 45 states, and Mexico and Canada. I'm actually flying out
Wow.
to Abu Dhabi over 4th of July weekend to perform for a USO show. So that's going to be,
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah, it's really exciting for me. I'm veterans and active military are one of my kind of passions in terms of, charity and that kind of thing. So not that they need
Yeah.
charity, you know what I mean? But I mean, I
But they
think
they certainly need to be entertained.
they
It's
do.
important.
They do need
Yeah.
to be entertained, and it's going to be really exciting to be over there at a base and
Sure.
be in it, and see what they do, and it's as much exciting for me as it is for them. I know having entertainment there is really important for morale, but also getting to talk to these guys, and obviously I'm going to bring my camera and try to
Oh,
take as
yeah.
many portraits as I can, and just try to get
Yeah.
get some cool stuff.
So
Yeah.
is
And
it gonna Oh, go ahead, Rudy.
oh,
Sorry.
no, I was just going to say, and as when civilians go over there, you're bringing home to them, a little piece of home. If anything, it's just, I know you're from where I'm from. Thanks
Yeah.
for coming. Yeah.
Yeah, and over 4th of July too. I mean, it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's really really important. So I think that I think that it's going to be hot.
Yeah, I
I
think you're
think that
right.
it's going to be, but it's going
Desert,
to
right?
be,
Desert?
yeah, yeah.
Like 114, that's
Yeah, in the
nothing.
UAE, yeah, it's probably fine.
A
It's
mile from the
dry
sun, right? About a
heat.
mile. You can throw a rock and hit the sun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
right.
Well, luckily,
Exactly.
I did some research before, so luckily Abu Dhabi's an
Right.
island. I'm not sure if that makes a difference, but I know that
Oh, yeah.
lake effect and everything
Steamy.
effect. It might be a little better than like being in, I don't know, Tehran or something like that.
Right,
There's a lot of
right.
U.S. Army bases in Tehran.
Sure.
But no, in terms of touring, like I think my favorite part was hearing stories and meeting a lot of people, and there's so many different types of people that you meet. We did a lot of stuff mostly on the motorcycle circuit, so we did a lot of motorcycle rallies with Jasmine, and then before that,
Right.
smaller venues, kind of more traditional venues. So everything that we did was in front of a wide variety of a very narrow group of people, if that makes sense. It's like these people were all brought together by a common interest, and so they do have some commonalities in terms of the type of audience that you're playing for, but they're all individual people with individual stories, whether they're veterans or whether they're just motorcycle enthusiasts, or whether they're the former Hells Angels or current Hells Angels or any of those kinds of people, but all very family men, doctors, lawyers, all that kind of stuff. So you get this really interesting kind of cross section when you're traveling around the country, because
Sure.
you play in California, you play in Maine, you play in Texas. I mean, they're all different, but they're all kind of the same, and so it's always an experience. I think one of the things that's most different is the individual states. Like, for instance, I was telling the story the other day. Maine, I think it's Maine. Yeah, Maine definitely has it, and I think maybe Connecticut and Massachusetts have it too. They have this weird rule where you can't have an alcoholic beverage on stage, and if you do, like, the entire bar gets shut down. Like,
Really?
yeah.
Whoa.
Well, what it is though is because we were looking it up, and we were, it's one of those things where you kind of run into these weird conflicts across the country where no one passed a law that said musicians can't drink on stage. What they did was they passed a law that said employees can't drink while on the job. And then they passed a separate law that said any performing act is an employee of the venue. And both of those things
Um,
make sense individually. You don't want bar owners coming in and like mistreating, musical acts and stuff like
Right.
that. They have to
As
give
they have in the past.
yeah,
yes.
they have to give the same protections to employees that they would to musical acts, to entertainment, as they would to their employees. But all of a sudden it creates this crossover thing where, oh, well, all this thing that I do at literally every other gig, I can literally be arrested. The entire bar can get shut down. I mean, and then you have a lot of people like with the motorcycle rallies, they're coming in from out of state, so they don't know. So they're
Oh,
bringing you
right.
shots and they're bringing you drinks up, and we have to be like, no, 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 and just make it like this, like, no, over the, attention, please, do not bring alcoholic beverages to the stage.
And then
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
you hold the guitar over your face and take a
yeah.
shot.
Well, that's the thing. Like, if you're not on the stage, you can theoretically drink, which is weird.
Right.
Because you're not
Right.
on the job. You're not in your work
Right.
area.
Yeah, yeah. So you could, like, I'd be in the middle of a guitar. So back when I was drinking, I don't drink anymore, but I'd be in the middle of a guitar solo and like have one note going with my left hand, step off the stage, take a shot, step back on the stage. You're fine. You
Fine.
can't do that on the stage.
Right.
So, hypothetically speaking, I am not admitting to any criminality, but that kind of thing, it's weird the way that they structure different things in different places. Like even Nashville's weird in a lot of ways for that kind of stuff.
Right.
But yeah, I think that's some of the most interesting parts of being on tour is just kind of the in-betweens, a lot of Food Network.
A lot of Food Network.
A lot of Food Network. I've seen more of Guy Fieri than
Right.
any man has any right to see. That's
Oh, that's rough.
You've seen all the jewelry and the hairdos.
Yeah. The
Every leopard print freaking vest, you've seen it.
Yeah, exactly.
Do not pick on the leopard print, bro.
Oh, okay. All right.
Well,
Saying.
depends who's
Okay,
wearing
on a
it.
guy, it's a little
Yeah,
weird,
yeah, it does depend on who's wearing it.
I own it, so I'm not
There you
gonna
go.
apologize.
It's perfect. And you look wonderful in your leopard print leotard. So,
Oh,
fantastic.
thanks, Jordan.
Yeah.
Nobody, listeners, just so you know, no one has ever seen me in a leopard print leotard, nor will they. Thank you for that thought, though,
Of
Jordan.
course. But has anyone seen you out of a leopard print leotard? That's what I want.
I plead the fifth. There is nothing I need to cop to on this podcast, sir.
Jordan, you're trying to get me in trouble, man. Because I bit off half my tongue like 3 times already.
Well, you need to get her for Christmas now.
No.
Exactly.
Oh my God. Please don't give him any ideas. I'll be
Would
like,
you like-
what's this? Oh no, Jordan, I am going to get you now.
The natural leopard, or would you like the purple and black, or the yellow, purple and black leopard? I mean, it's just a
like
leopard, right? It doesn't.
I mean,
we could go with the different colors. Can we go with the logo color scheme? Some purple, some green.
I like the neon green.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm going to give a shout out to Naked City Clothing again, because they have all kinds of really cool leopard prints. They have like a bright pink and the bright green. Like I could do it up. I could get full leopard print.
I'm gonna start making notes for our next photo shoot together. Hold on.
Yeah. I want a leopard print gimp mask.
Oh my gosh. And this goes sideways all the time. Just when he speaks, though, just when he speaks.
This is what was going on when you were in your makeup emergency. Jordan and I were having a good time.
That's true. Yeah, he was in like leopard print gimp mask, and I was just.
And you didn't take pictures of that and show me?
They just weren't part of your finals that you picked. I mean, you could have chosen.
We were just having plain people talk, regular guys.
So disappointed, Jordan. You should have shown me that pic. I would have definitely bought that one.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Next time we get it with the zipper that goes like this instead of like this.
You don't want the one that zips up and then the circle that goes around.
Little flap.
You know way too much about these, Jordan.
I've seen a Tarantino movie or two.
Right. We'll blame it on that.
Yeah.
So, Jordan.
Yes.
All goofiness aside for this next second.
Okay.
We don't know where it'll go from there. But what is your favorite photography shoot that you've done and why?
Oh man. Well, you guys were pretty fun. I'll put that one up there. I do, oh man, let's see if there's anything that was particularly fun. I think one of the ones that was probably the most fun for me it was just a single picture that I did with my fiance for Valentine's Day. But the reason it was super fun for me is because I just had this kind of creative idea, and we were actually pet sitting at the time. I think if you go to my Instagram, it's still up there somewhere. It's way back in the catalog, but um, it's basically it's my fiance wanted to do something for Valentine's Day, so we were pet sitting, and they had a garage, and obviously no anything, literally cars in the garage. And so I taped aluminum foil up to the garage door, and I was bouncing lights around and did some colored gels and everything. And it looks like
Right.
Christmas lights and everything. You can't tell anything about what it is.
Right.
Maybe I'll send you that photo so you can link it
Yeah,
in the,
do that. That
Yeah.
sounds cool.
but it was fun. It's creative, and I love I do a lot of not just portraits, but also like I do a lot of weddings. I'm trying to look back and just see. Now I'm just scrolling through my phone, like what have I done? I did one with the fire spinner. That was pretty cool. But like the weddings and stuff, like I love getting to know getting to know these couples, and getting to know like we do engagement shoots, we do the whole thing. So it's nice being able to spend that time and kind of have that day with them and get to know them, their
Right.
families and all that stuff. And it's a lot of pressure, but it's a lot of fun. I really like it.
Well, I've been to a number of weddings. I mean, not working, just attending.
Yeah.
And from your perspective, I mean, it's kind of like welcomed guest and then slash fly on the wall, because you're there to do something. Now,
Right.
how much fun is it to watch people's family members just get sloppy? I mean, is there always someone, either a bridesmaid or a bridegroom, that overdoes it and there's some craziness that happens? Do you have any of those stories?
Yes.
Yes. You don't
But
have to mention
I
names.
will. Yeah. No. I will say there are times when like most people, for the most part, luckily for me, I've had people behave. I will say that every so often, like the best man will have too much, or there was one where I just sent you that picture, by the way, Michelle.
Oh, okay.
The like no one in the family, like dad gets really appreciative, like every 5 minutes, like, oh, thank you so much for being here, you're amazing, can I get you something? No, I'm not drinking today, sir. Thank you, great to be here. 5 minutes later, oh, you guys are so great, can I get you something? No, I'm fine. And then every so often you'll be booked for a reception, and everyone is sloshed by like the first 45 minutes. You're like, okay, so the next 2
Right.
hours are going to be nothing. Like I'm not going to get anything good for the next 2 hours, just because everyone just looks drunk.
Yeah.
Which
Eyes
is
looking in
fine.
different.
Like
Yeah.
yeah, that's what they're there for. So you go outside and you get some creative detail shots and stuff, and you let people party. And but I always want to create something memorable and special for all my clients. And no one really wants Aunt Trudy passed out on the deck.
I don't know. Some people
Do you
do.
take any of them? You don't take any, anything you see that's really just campy, you don't shoot it just for fun? You don't have a private collection of people's bad moments?
Yeah, it's on my OnlyFans. You can sign up for $15 a month. No, I don't.
Don't remind him of that.
Yeah.
Rudy's going to be blasting out his OnlyFans page here, whatever it's
OnlyFans
called.
page.
Yeah.
It's just going to be you'll see like an implied of somebody in a leopard print leotard, and you'll know immediately.
That would be Rudy, not me.
And only from the neck down.
How could you tell?
No tongue.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm speechless.
He brings it out of me. It's not my fault. He brings it out of
I'm
me.
speechless, truly speechless. I don't know what to say to that.
Yeah, we're gonna get done with this, and Michelle's gonna. I'm sorry, the interview this week had to be accidentally deleted. And,
no, I'm going to the mat for this one. Jordan. Don't worry, this is gonna happen. Unless you tell me you know. But it's happening.
Fine. I have no sense of shame. It's fine.
I think we're okay. I think it's okay so far.
So far? Okay.
So far. Yeah. So, Rudy, ask a question because I just got off track
Okay,
thinking about
it's
all this craziness that you two just discussed.
okay. It's kind of a little. I'm kind of going back to the music topic
Yeah.
again because it's just something I'm always interested in. Um, what was your rig? What was your standard touring rig that you played out of?
Yeah, so that changed a
A little
lot.
gear,
What was that?
a little gear talk.
Oh yeah. That changed a lot over the years, just based on what I was doing. I went through kind of a back and forth between analog and digital stuff, because of flexibility and how much stuff you got to load into a gig and everything. And so I went from having like a massive 2 amp, huge pedal board stereo rig that I loved. I thought it sounded great. You know, behind me, it just was everything that I ever wanted it to be. But I would have sound guys coming up to me and being like, I just can't get it there through the PA. Like it just didn't. And whether that was, my rig, just because the thing with that a lot of people don't think of is that the sound that comes off of the stage, you're experiencing angles of those speakers, right? So if you're off axis, if you're above it, if you're below it, if it's right behind you, it's gonna put out a different sound than like what your front row hears, or even what a microphone
Right.
next to an amp will hear. So there was just an amount of inconsistency with the tone that I was getting. Like I loved it, but it wasn't always right out the front of house. So I ended up switching to Kemper, which is a digital amp. It's an amp profiler. I don't want to say it's an amp modeler, but it basically is. And I've been touring with the Kemper for probably the last 3 years, and I love it because I can just have a new amp anytime I want.
Right. Yeah.
With a country gig, I can pull up a Fender Blackface, or if I'm doing a metal gig, I got my Marshalls, or I use a driftwood profile from a guy named Michael Britt. For like the metal stuff. And then I'm gonna be developing all new presets for the Abu Dhabi thing because it's kind of a rock country thing. So but the guitars that I play are Taya guitars. It's from
Nice.
Michelle's cousin Kelly. She works for Taya, and actually that's how we got connected. So
Yeah.
so I had a friend who worked for Taya, and she kind of put out a call that said, hey, anybody looking for guitars, check these out. And I went over there and I checked out the factory, talked to Everett and Kelly and Seth and everybody over there, and they're all fantastic, and the guitars are amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had one built, and I, they gave me a loaner as well, so I have two. So that's what's going to be going over to Abu Dhabi with me.
Cool.
So Taya goes international, although they're a Dutch company, so I guess they're
Yeah.
already
So they're kind of
yeah,
international.
they're going closer to home. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
And and listeners, if you haven't checked out Taya guitars, I'm sure I've said this before, but you definitely should check them out. They're amazing. They're
Art
pieces of
pieces.
artwork.
Yeah.
yeah.
Art pieces with tone for days.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tone for days.
Yeah, as
So,
soon as I got that guitar, like everything else, I loved, and I was playing Ibanez for a long time. I still have a ton of Ibanez guitars, and they're fantastic. But as soon as I got my Taya, it was just like everybody was coming up to me and just like, not only what is that guitar, but like you sound amazing, And
right.
it's not my playing; it has nothing to do with it. But it's just the sound, and they cut in a way, and I'm one of those guys that likes to fiddle with my tones on the guitar. Like I have a bunch
Right.
of things set up on my amps, and I have a bunch of things set up with my effects and everything that I can kind of tweak on the fly. But a lot of it's in the tone knobs and the volume knobs and the way that the guitar interacts with everything else that's going on. And the Tires just give me so much flexibility in terms of like single coil splitting, this, that, whatever tones I need, whether it's, I
Sure.
can take one Les Paul to a gig. It's not a Les Paul, it's a Fox. I'm not going to, no trademark infringement, one single cut guitar to a gig and get, a telly tone if I want to. I can get a clean Strat tone. I can play Steely Dan. I can play, Johnny Cash. I can play Slayer, on one guitar and just get it
Right.
all without having to tweak too much on my settings. So that was really kind of a game changer for me. So that's my rig. That's what I play.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
to make a
Did you
short
guys
story long.
have you guys heard that or seen or played? There is a guitar that folds up and fits into a backpack.
I would believe that. I would be hard pressed to trust that on a
Yeah,
I
me
know,
guitar.
but
too.
they
I,
say
I
it tunes automatically. Like it's automatically tuned.
Yeah,
You don't have to mess with it. You just unfold it and lock it together,
yeah,
basically.
like a
Um,
beach,
what's
yeah,
that?
like a beach chair.
Yeah, basically, like the beach chair of guitars.
yeah.
Um, but anyway, I saw one when I went to see Kelly a few weeks ago. They had one there, and I'm not sure the guy's name. It wasn't one of the normal guys
Yeah.
who was in there, but he was working on it, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, that is so cool!" And he's like, "Yeah, it's really easy. It folds up and it fits in a backpack."
Yeah.
And he said, when you undo it and you put it back together to play it, it's automatically tuned. Like you don't have to tune it very much at all, he said.
Interesting.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
I just thought that was cool. And I was like, man, if I was a musician and I was on the road all the time and I had to mess with it, I would definitely get that.
Yeah. I think that there I think whenever you solve one problem, you always create another
I'm
when it
sure. Yeah.
comes to stuff like that. And I would be interested to check it out. I don't want to say that it's bad. I've never even seen it, but
Yeah. Yeah.
it's one of those things where like the if it's self-tuning, like is it electronically tuning, or is it just that the tension is the same and you kind of pop it and then it stays the same, or
Yeah.
any of those things. So it's just I'm always like ooh, and then with
You're
some
right.
you know,
That's good. That could be not so good.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you accidentally move your hand wrong and you flip the mechanism and the thing explodes while you're playing
Right,
it,
right.
because it just tries to fold itself and you're like
Yes.
caught in your guitar. Yeah, I don't know.
Snapping into place with your fingers in the wrong place. Next thing
Yeah,
you know, you're nubby.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Not my favorite.
Just burst my balloon, boys.
I
That's fine. That's cool. It
But
doesn't
at the
matter.
same
I'm
time,
not a musician, but I just thought it looked really cool when he
oh
had it.
yeah, I'm sure it's great. And I mean if those guys are vouching for it, like I'm sure it's fantastic. But I just
Oh, now I don't know if they're vouching for
okay.
it per se, but he had one in there and he was messing with it, and I kind of wish I would have asked Kelly his name and about the guitar more before I brought it up on a global podcast. But listeners, if you're interested, you can look that up. Um,
holding guitar.
Yeah. It can't be
yeah,
that many of them.
but I mean,
Perspectives.
it looked really cool, and he folded it down and then showed me how it fits into a backpack, and
Yeah.
I was like, "That's so
Yeah.
cool! I would do that." Until it took my fingers off, and I had to play with
Yes.
nubs.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
very hard to fold a guitar without fingers.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
say so.
Get your mittens on.
Right.
You
So,
could, but you could tape like a pick and like maybe a glass tube to slide and do a slide thing with no fingers.
Yeah, you could.
There's somebody in your house right there who's like,
Yeah, it's my fiance. She's home for lunch.
hey, Leslie.
hey Leslie, you're in the shot.
She's unpacking a crate of vegetables on our table. It's okay.
Oh, yummy.
Nice. So, but yeah, that is really all I have, unless Rudy has more questions, comments, sarcasm, whatever he's going to throw our way.
Unlimited supply.
Oh gosh, just
Veggies! She has eggplant.
Yeah. Sneaking up on me from behind with eggplant. Yeah. Now you know how our relationship is.
good for you. Congratulations. Very happy
Oh
for
my
you.
goodness.
I don't know
So,
what to say. I mean, there was an eggplant.
It was a-
there was an
We're
eggplant.
probably gonna baba ganoush later. It's okay.
What's
Oh,
that?
lasagna, eggplant lasagna. Baba ganoush.
Oh,
Have you ever
There you
had
go.
baba ganoush? You never had baba ganoush?
I've only heard of it.
It's a
but
real
I was
dish.
gonna make a dirty joke, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. It's delicious.
No, it's a real dish
Yeah.
from the Middle East, right?
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
roasted pureed eggplant with tahini and other spices and stuff. It's like a dip. You use it like a dip.
oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super good. You use it with pita chips or whatever.
I may
I
have had
mean,
it because I've had pita chips with stuff on it before.
Yeah, it's kind of I'm trying to think of what it tastes like. It doesn't really taste like a whole lot of anything. It's a little acidic and a little roasty and a little peanut
So
buttery. Yeah,
so kind of Mediterranean salsa kind of.
yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
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 More like Mediterranean guacamole.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. No, never had it.
Yeah.
But I want some now.
yeah, it's good.
What
I
time's dinner?
actually
Oh
just
no, you're
pulled
not
up
having
a
baba ganoush. Never mind.
Yeah,
I actually just pulled up a recipe for that
yeah.
a few days ago, and I was going to make some, but we have a listener in Bahrain
Okay.
now, and I looked up I because I know nothing about that area. I looked it up, and I was like, the most popular food or something there is and I'll probably mispronounce this, but it's like muhammar. It's
Okay.
muhammar.
Okay.
And it's a sweet rice. And some people put like dried apricots in it. And I mean, it's got cardamom and it looks complicated to make, but and the ingredients are really super expensive.
Yeah.
But I've decided that I'm going to try to make that at
Yeah.
some point. And it's basically like you put rice in the skillet or whatever, and you fry it. You
Yeah.
have all, and it's got all these seasonings in it and stuff. But yeah, I that just made me think of that because when I was looking up that recipe, I found a recipe for baba ganoush.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I'll
need
have
to
to check
get my
that out.
cook on.
Got hungry. I
But
just got really hungry.
I know
Weird.
all this food talk.
Yeah. Welcome to the Hunger Games podcast with Rebel and
Right. So when are you going? So you're going in July
Yeah.
to entertain the troops.
Yeah.
Between now and then, what have you got? You got anything you'd like to share that you got
Uh,
going?
Nothing musical. I mean, I this week I have like 3 or 4 weddings and 2 or 3 engagement shoots, and I mean I'm just keeping
Wow.
busy with the photography, which is great. And then July and August is kind of going to be a lot of editing, and I don't have anything specifically planned there once I get back from Abu Dhabi. But the fall is always busy for wedding season.
Sure.
I'm working with new clients, every week. So I'm really excited about it. It's been a really good year so far, and I'm just looking forward to continuing on doing what I'm doing. Um, yeah. So if anybody wants to check out, what I do, you can check it out at jordanroepkephotography.com. So it's ROEPKE, Roepke Photography.
Okay. Cool.
Right.
Well, thank you for coming
Yeah.
on and joining
Yeah,
us,
Jordan, thanks for
Jordan.
coming on. It's good to see you.
It's
Yeah, good to see you
always
guys
a
too. We'll have to
pleasure.
do this again soon.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So,
Hey,
well,
maybe when you get back.
Yeah. I'll
yes,
be
we
super
definitely want to hear
tan.
about that. So, all right. Well, we'll talk to you later.
All right. Have a good one, guys.
You
Have a
too.
good one.
Bye bye. Please don't forget to give us a 5-star review and give us a written/typed review on Apple Podcasts. That helps us so much.